In this video, we're going to learn how to use advanced settings from AinTransitions extension like a pro. You'll find the advanced settings by clicking this advanced settings tab on the top menu. It is worth noting that all the settings from the top menu are only for transitions. As we can see, there are 9 icons inside. When you hover over each of the icons, this displays a tooltip with the title, so you can always understand what each icon is responsible for. Okay, let's look at the icons step by step. But first, choose a transition which we will use as a test, like this one, which goes from bottom to top. Now, let us check the first icon, toggle imitation of motion blur. This option switches the value of the imitation of motion blur, if this option is available in the transition. Let's apply this to the transition and see what happens. As we can see, the image became clear and the kind of movement disappeared. Repeat click reverses the option value. Go to the next icon, apply random params. This option generates random parameters for transitions from glitch pack or some types of transitions from shape pack. Let's move on to a special composition where the glitch transition has been applied already. Select the layer and check the option in action. As we can see, the transition details change with every click. Okay, let's go back to the previous composition and move on to the next 2 icons, horizontal mirror edges and vertical mirror edges. These icons are designed to enable or disable mirroring of the footage. Let's look at it in action, so that is visually understandable with an example. But first, temporarily disable the imitation of motion blur option to make our changes more obvious. So let's move the time indicator to the place where we can notice the visual difference. At the moment, the image looks good. Now turn off the horizontal mirror edges option. As we can see, on the right side of the image is cloned to fill the space. However, this does not look so great because the image at the moment does not look visually solid. Return option back. Yeah, specular reflection and visual integrity. Now the purpose of this option should now be quite apparent to you. Well, we have already passed 4 icons. Now we will move on to the next 2. Horizontal flip motion and vertical flip motion. These options are intended to reflect the transitions animation horizontally or vertically. To start, let's preview our transition with default settings. As we see, the transition goes from the bottom left corner to the top right corner. Now apply horizontal flip motion and then view the preview. Yep, we see that now the transition started from the bottom right corner all the way to the top left corner. Now for you, the purpose of these options should now be clear. Let's go to the next icon, reset changes to default. As the name implies, the option rolls back to the transition to the default state, but it's important to keep in mind that this only works when the changes were made using the 6 icons that we reviewed before. An indicator of this is the number at the end of the transition name. Okay, select the layer with transition and click on the icon. As we see, the transition returned to its default state and the number disappeared. We've already examined the next icon with the name decompose in another video, but we will duplicate the example in this video as well. This option produces a decomposition of the pre-composition, which could have been done earlier for the alpha transitions to work correctly. First, apply the alpha transition so that the whole process is more visual. Select the photo layer and then in the extension, click on the transition icon. You can see 2 changes. First change, our selected layer has been placed in a pre-position. The second change, the duration of the bottom layer was adjusted for the duration of the pre-composition. Let's take a look. Let's preview it. The transition works perfectly and looks beautiful. Now let's try the decompose icon and see it in action. Yeah, that's magic. The preposition disappeared and our photo came back. Visually, everything returned to its original place. Only a transition was added since it was also in pre-composition. And finally, the last icon, remove all unused items. As the name implies, this option removes from the project all unused compositions that belong to our pack and are located in the folder AinTransitions folder. Let's click on the icon and see the result. Only those transitions that are used in the compositions remain in the folder. So I hope you found this video useful, and remember to watch the rest of the videos in this series so you can use this pack with confidence. So this video tutorial for this section is over. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for all the latest updates on new products and offers.